So hello and welcome back to Steve's Tycoon Terminal, and today we're going to kind of finish off this area. It's going to be quite something. There's a lot of work to do. So we've got the rides in, the kind of the base of the pathways are in. I've just got to now theme it up and make it look like how I want it to look. So sit back and enjoy. Oh, wow, that was quite something, wasn't it? Got a lot done there in a very short amount of time. That took about 5, 6 hours to do all that. So just gonna have a walk through the park now, and I kind of wanted a bit of an elevated platform here so you could see the ride and I could observe it from an interesting point of view. So we've put in, I can't remember the name of them exactly, but like a Vekoma flat ride. It used to be quite popular. Flamingo Land used to have one. Um, the one at Flamingo Land never did inversions, but around the world they were pretty good, and they could do inversions and all kinds of interesting things. The one thing about this one is it has been themed up already. So I don't know if I'm a fan of that. I like to put my own theming on, but it is what it is. So we're just kind of enjoying a ride on this at the moment. I'm probably going to add a few special effects at some point, but at the moment, we're just desperate to get this section of the park open to try and increase the profits of the park. So we'll just, there we go. Lots of spin going on there. Very dramatic music. So yeah, I just thought this would be a good flat ride. It's quite extreme, so the thrill seekers will enjoy it. You get a nice view of the mine train coaster there. I think I could probably do a bit more work on that building. It's a little bit bland and plain. So I'll have to have a look at that. So if your stomach's not churning after that, then you have an iron stomach. That was quite something. Just have a quick look and see how it kind of looks from a off-ride perspective. It is quite the spectacle. I'm quite chuffed with how that's kind of come out. So yeah, so that's not too bad. As we have a wander down here, I've added a few shops, staff room, some toilets, a few facilities there. So we'll have a jump on the mine train coaster. So I've added like walkways and everything around to try and add a little bit of the thrill there. I wanted to interact with the log flume ride and hidden some of the stanchions and in logs essentially, so to make it look just a little bit more of the era. There are places where I could improve on this, but I had to kind of cut it off somewhere. And also, it does give an opportunity to kind of revisit and come back and improve things as time goes on. I'm not sure how quickly people are going to board this ride in Planet Coaster, so we may well have to end up taking a train off the system. But it does run smoothly with 4 trains. It doesn't stop in the blocks, which is ideally what you want on a coaster. And on this one, it does have enough parking places at the end of the ride, so all the oh, got a bit of clip in that. I'll have to get that fixed. Train went through the rock. But yeah, I just thought it'd be good to have it so all the trains can stack at the end. It was very fun building this coaster. I wanted it to be like a little bit rickety, a little bit bumpy, a few weird corners, and I think it's kind of come off really well. think like one of the main keys was to try and make it interesting. So with the scenery around it, have lots of near miss elements. And yeah, I just really like this one. It's quite a long coaster as well. But it's also like here, there's always something going on. There's like another train going around. It's like there's kind of something always to look at while on the coaster. And then just like a grand ending where it gets a little bit steep into the canyon, into the breaks. I just think it's a great ending. Like it kind of builds up in intensity towards the end, where it is the most intense point on the ride. So I added like the transfer track for this. So we've got storage for storage bays for the trains. So the idea is one's kept in the station, and there's a place for three trains in the maintenance shed there. The maintenance shed also doubles up as special effects for the log flume as well. So where the log flume goes through, which we will see in just a little bit. Just added a few fences here to kind of protect people from the mine train coaster, but allow people to kind of get close and see it. I kind of wanted that with the queue line interaction as well, with the queue going over the pathway. This area, I'm planning on doing something on the other side, whether it'll be rocks or trees, just to hide the perimeter wall. But again, kind of with time constraints, I feel that this area of the park needs to open to allow us to gain a little bit more need to expand. Kind of put the toilets in the cave there. They don't look fantastic, but when you're playing the game from above, it's not too bad to be fair. But a little bit of effort to try and theme it up. So we built this little area to kind of let people come up and have a look around the overall area of the log flume and the mine train coasters. You can come down and have a look at just the scenery and the interaction between the two rides. Just lets people kind of go and have a look and see how it all looks really, because it is quite an interesting thing to look at. I would like to add some kind of waterfall somewhere. Um, Again, I'm not the best at building waterfalls. I have had a little bit of a go on the other side where the caves are, which we'll see shortly. And again, I wanted this little bit raised up so you can have a look at the log flume, just to add again like a spectator point. I might try and add some water guns there. So this is a little attraction where you kind of go into the caves of the mountain, and you can kind of. I think I've done this one a little bit too low. You have to crawl through here, but there is like a little excavator there, which is digging away. So it's just to kind of like add another, well, scenery exploration. I quite like parks that have a. It's not always about the ride. Sometimes it's nice to just get out of the hustle and bustle and have a wander and see something interesting. And again, like another spectator point to see our roller coaster there with lanterns and lamps all around to kind of light it at night time. And here's just like a logging camp. So there is going to be a railway station here, which I have put in, but it's not ready to open yet. I just kind of wanted to connect this to the other land via a railway. Um, so we've kind of got it penciled in, ready to go, so we can start it. I'm just going to go and jump on the log flume now. Again, if you think of any names for these, please comment. I like to see people's names for rides. I'm terrible at naming rides. I can never decide on what I want to call them. So if you think of a decent name, just shout out. So I'm just going to try and find a boat now. There we go, in the station. So you kind of start off with an immediate drop, which sets the tone of the ride, just gets a little bit of excitement going from the beginning. I've done quite a few water rides, and I'll be honest, some of them, like Pirate Adventure at Drayton Manor when that was open, was a good example of it was a great start. You had the drop, and then nothing happened for the rest of the ride, but the scenery was fantastic. We've got a little bit of a. So this is underneath the workshop for the mine train coaster. Just a few effects, and there's a bandit there trying to steal some of the supplies for the coaster, I think. I quite like some of these overhanging rocks as well, so people will be like trying to duck in the boat to avoid hitting the rocks. So, and again, the interaction between the rides just makes it interesting to ride and look at, like whether you're just standing looking at it or if you're actually on it. I've tried to make it so all these pathways that we have can be accessed from a maintenance perspective as well. So if people need to get off the ride or the log flume, they can find an easy way to get to an access point so that you can get off the ride safely. They even added a few panels at the top of the lift hills, which you might notice, for the staff to kind of restart or jog over. I know on like the log flume, or a lot of the older log flumes, you used to actually, if they had any kind of issue, a member of staff would have to kind of manually reset the ride by jogging the boats up the lift hill. I have added a little bit of greenery in places on this as well, but I think I could do with adding a little bit more and a little bit more water around and about. So this is the highest point of the log flume, and the biggest drop is coming up. And I think it's quite nice to have this kind of in the middle of the attraction, so you've got that big buzz. Like I said earlier, I think it'd be great to have some water guns here on this pathway with people shooting at the boats. I'll have to look into that and see if there's something we can put in. I'm sure I can make some kind of special effect that'll do the job. So this part of the ride is kind of just to get us back to station level, as it is an elevated station due to that first drop. Well, I kind of wanted another drop before the actual end, so we've got like just a little drop here to kind of finish off. And again, it's within view of the pathways, to have a bit of a spectator opportunity. These buildings in the background, they're just kind of workshop items that I put in just temporarily while I kind of work out what I'm going to do. I'm sure these boats will space out a little bit better. We've got 20 boats on this, which is, I don't think that's a lot for a big ride like this. But they do seem to be like moving around constantly, so I think once we open it up to people, we might have to either reduce the number of boats on it due to the way it's set up. I don't want loads of boats sticking out the station. I don't mind a few, but I don't want like, 10 boats sitting at the end of the ride. So that is the log flume. That is a lovely view coming out of here, looking at the scenery. So yeah, I hope you like what I've created so far. Like, there is a lot of work still to be done on this area, but I feel it's at a place where we can open it. If you can think of any names you want to call the rides, at the moment, these ones are all they haven't been named at all, and so your help would be greatly appreciated. And I'm over 100 subscribers now as well, so thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you taking your time to watch my videos and just see what I'm kind of creating. It's fantastic. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, I really appreciate a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And I'll see you in the next episode where we're going to build, well, we're going to add the transfer track to the junior coaster and just have an overview and see how this area looks once it's open. I do feel we are going to have to add a few more shops though, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.